and kind of what they're used for and how they're kind of being moved out and we're not using them as much anymore. So who actually knows like what a horseshoe crab is? Okay, no one? Okay, that's good. So, okay, so this is a horseshoe crab. Now does anyone know what it is? Okay, okay. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. They're actually called living fossils. They've been around since like the dinosaur age. And they're actually not really crabs so much. They are, according to National Wildlife Federation, they're 300 million years old, so closer to dinosaurs. And then the Florida Fish and Wildlife, they are actually not crabs, they're more like arachnids, like spiders. So obviously they're not horseshoes and then they're not crabs, but basically if you kind of break it down, that part right there kind of looks like a horseshoe a little bit, and then all this and the tail, that looks more like a scorpion than a crab. And also if you were to see the underneath side, they have these little like pincers next to their mouth. That's how they move their food in, like spiders and crabs. Or no, like spiders and scorpions do, not like crabs. But basically, but they do go through molting processes. Basically, they lose their shell, and then they have to blow up and expand with water to make a new shell around them. Just like spiders, crabs do that as well. So if you ever seen like a dead spider in your house and you're like, okay, good, it's dead, probably just means it's just a molt and there's probably a bigger spider in your house somewhere else. But yeah, anyways, there you go. So what are they used for? So these crabs, they're just little horseshoe crabs, little dinosaur things. They're actually pretty important. For one, from Chesler, she said that she talks about how she went to a lab and how the professor or Dr. Owens kind of got this syringe full of their blood, and she was like, oh, it's like glistening blue. Basically what's happening here is this is a lab, and they have folded the horseshoe crab's backside over, and they're extracting their blood. So their blood is blue, and it's very expensive. Thousands of dollars for just a pint. Obviously, this is not favorable for the crowd. I don't think they want this to be happening to them, but it's very important because if anyone's ever donated blood to the Red Cross, basically what they'll do is they'll mix the horseshoe crab's blood with our blood, swish it around, and it'll clot around bacteria, take out the clots. It's healthier for us. Our blood is better for us. And for a while, that's what they've been using, and starting to get to the point where we're making new medicine to replace these guys, so that way something that's older than dinosaurs doesn't get taken out by us. Kind of impressive in a dark way that something that this old is being killed by us, but that's okay. And then by Fraser, these birds are I think they're called cutthroat shorebirds because they're red in the front, basically in the Delaware Bay area. So basically horseshoe crabs, when they go to reproduce, the males have an extra claw that they use to attach to the females, and the females carry them up to the sand, and then they all just lay thousands of eggs there, and the birds come by, eat the eggs. It's a symbiotic, or I guess the horseshoe crabs don't like it, so parasitic relationship. But basically it's important for birds because the birds have to go from Delaware to Alaska, and if you didn't eat very much, that's a hard trip, and you're probably not going to make it. But the crabs, after their blood is taken, they basically just get tagged, dumped back into the ocean, and they'll maybe make their way back up, maybe they'll die, don't really know. They see someone tags and they're like, okay, they're making it, I guess. But that leads me to this point where they're basically making a new medicine that does the same thing that the horseshoe crabs do, where they it can clot around the bacteria in the blood, and you can take the blood out. I think it was from Bioscience Lonza. She said that back in the 90s, she had finally made an alternative to LAL or LAL. That's, I probably should have said that earlier. That's what they call the horseshoe crab process. It's just called LAL, where they do that. And then I think Ding, yeah. And then so basically the new science formula is called recombinant factor C, and it's basically doing the same thing. But they made that in the 90s, and there just wasn't enough backing for it because only one company made it. So a lot of medical places, they really rely on the horseshoe crabs for our health. So if that one factory that made this new medicine, let's say got wiped out by an earthquake or hurricane or something, they would be without the medicine for a while. But now in 2018, the first company has actually started using it for medicine. So the horseshoe crabs might be safe. Ooh, that's good. Keep going the wrong way. But in conclusion, yeah, so horseshoe crabs, personally I think they're pretty cool. That's actually a fossil one, so they call them living fossils like dinosaurs. Like that fossil looks exactly like the ones that are alive today. Each horseshoe crab only lives like 20 years, but they've been around since the dinosaurs. So yeah, if you want to learn more about horseshoe crabs, I guess go to your local zoo or aquarium. The one in Long Beach is pretty good, Aquarium of the Pacific.